Spot the Rubik's Cube inside, and comment where. What if you were born inside Minecraft? You open your eyes to a bizarre reality where the organic round world has vanished, replaced entirely by geometric pixelated blocks. Looking down at your hands, you freeze in terror as you realize your body must adapt to the rigid laws of geometry.
A solitary black crow greets you, guiding your bewildered gaze toward the endless horizon of this beautiful, pixelated sandbox world.
In this world, physics defy all human reason. Punching raw timber does not break your bones, it shatters the wood instead. Gravity behaves strangely here, allowing severed blocks of earth and ancient trees to float effortlessly in mid-air right before you. Living in a perfectly geometric environment fundamentally alters human spatial cognition, forcing the brain to calculate every movement in strict meters. Survival requires instant adaptation. You must learn to combine basic raw materials into primitive tools using rigid, unyielding geometric formulas. As the square sun dips below the horizon, a primal dread grips your soul, because darkness here brings literal nightmares. Groaning zombies and clicking skeletons materialize out of the pitch-black shadows, hunting for the only organic life on this world. Trapped inside a tiny, claustrophobic box of dirt, you listen to the horrifying sounds of monsters scraping outside your walls. Inside your crude stone sanctuary, the simple light of a single torch becomes a vital shield against the darkness. To conquer this brutal world, you must conquer its deep underworld, hunting for hidden minerals hidden beneath the bedrock. Every single resource requires intense, repetitive labor, slowly hardening your muscles and refining your focus for the trials ahead. When constant extreme isolation and darkness deplete your brain's dopamine, decision-making shatters, forcing you to rely purely on hardwired survival habits. Navigating subterranean mazes tests your mind, where one single misstep into molten lava means absolute, instant death for you. Instead of digital screens or modern machinery, your technology focuses on industrial smelting, transforming crude ores into iron armor plates. Wrapping yourself in solid iron armor alters the balance of power, transforming you from a defenseless prey into a hunter. Stepping back into the surface world, you find a chaotic rainstorm that empowers the deadly monsters hunting in the open fields.
A towering, dark entity stands in the shadows, waiting for you to make a fatal mistake by looking directly into its eyes.
The black crow returns, soaring through the shadows as a grim omen of the deepening, brutal trials ahead of you. Manual labor is no longer enough. You must learn to harvest redstone dust to automate your daily struggle for survival. Severe environmental stress triggers massive surges of oxytocin, cementing fierce protective instincts that ensure the absolute survival of your tight-knit community. Vital resources are finite in every chunk, forcing you to strip mine entire biomes to feed your insatiable need for construction.
You become a master geologist, trading prized obsidian blocks across thousands of square meters of walkable, dangerous pixelated terrain.
Meeting another human survivor is incredibly rare. It represents either a vital trading opportunity or a desperate, bloody conflict over resources. The rich coastal zones become crowded sanctuaries, where marine life provides the steady calories that the harsh inland deserts constantly deny. You migrate constantly across different chunks, learning to read the subtle coordinates of the sun to navigate through these endless landscapes.
You share the dark caves with monstrous predators, fighting brutal, silent wars for the only rich ore veins available underground.
This is a static world where massive forces of nature are locked into rigid grids, forcing humanity to play by geometric laws. Every single resource requires an immense struggle, shaping a human race that is incredibly resilient, tough, and mathematically precise. As generations pass in this blocky void, a deep, unyielding psychological calm begins to reshape your entire tribal culture. Radical apathy acts as an evolutionary shield. By shutting down intense emotional desires, minds endure endless isolation without breaking. Your oral histories do not speak of progress or building empires. They preserve the unchanging laws of cubic survival. Change becomes a terrifying threat, and the human mind adapts to worship the rigid stability of the frozen earth. You live at the slow, deliberate pace of the massive chunks, measuring your life by migrations rather than years. Every meal is an intricate ritual of resource management, turning simple crops and animal fat into vital, life-saving energy. The lack of dense forests creates open, endless fields of vision, where hunters and massive beasts see each other coming from miles away. Childhood is remarkably short. Survival requires young minds to quickly master the complex, dangerous tracking arts of the plains. The sheer scale of the landscape humbles humanity, leaving your species as small, quiet observers of a massive geometric planet. The black crow calls out against the gathering storm, warning you that the final, most brutal trial is arriving. The fragile equilibrium of your world shatters as a sudden, violent drop in global temperature pushes your tribe south. The vast grazing fields are freezing over completely, forcing millions of massive beasts and human hunters into a desperate race. As habitable territories shrink rapidly near the equator, your tribe collides directly with aggressive rival clans competing for resources. Evolutionary science proves that extreme environmental pressure and intense territorial conflict serve as the primary drivers for human mental innovation. Under the crushing threat of absolute extinction, your people begin inventing deadlier weapons and highly sophisticated trapping strategies overnight. Warfare and coordinated hunting merge into a single, highly advanced discipline, reshaping the social hierarchy of your nomadic tribe. The brutal winter forces a fierce, unforgiving selection process where only the most cooperative and cunning societies can survive. Your tribe secures the valuable hunting grounds, ensuring that your bloodline lives to face the next freezing dawn ahead. The sudden, violent climate shift recedes slowly, leaping behind a profoundly changed human race that has conquered the storm. You realize that while the planet remains completely frozen, the human spirit has grown infinitely warmer, sharper, and tougher. Driven by the brutal lessons of the great storms, your tribe abandons constant migration to build permanent, fortified cities. By clustering around rare geothermal volcanic fissures, humanity establishes its very first permanent strongholds against the eternal, biting cold. A specialized class of astronomers and keepers of memory emerges, meticulously recording the precise movements of the cubic stars. Random, individual foraging transforms into highly organized, military-style harvesting expeditions that sweep across the vast icy plains daily. Digging deep into exposed glacial valleys, your people discover rich iron ore veins, leaping directly into cold forge metallurgy. Your volcanic sanctuary becomes a bustling global trading hub, drawing isolated human pockets from thousands of chunks away together. You witness the birth of a complex, highly stratified society that relies entirely on rigid order to survive. This is a unique civilization built on the absolute defiance of nature, a fortress of life in a dead world. Megafauna are no longer just prey. You have domesticated the giants of the ice, turning iron engines into living protectors. Historical sociology shows that when civilizations concentrate around static, hyper-localized energy sources, they develop intensely centralized and highly cooperative governance systems. Your volcanic city has grown into a beacon of absolute defiance, an enduring monument to human resilience against the cold. You realize that human knowledge is no longer fragile or fleeting. It is carved deeply into stone and iron blocks forever. Instead of conquering distant oceans, your science dives deep into the frozen core of the Earth, seeking hidden, ancient secrets. Without coal or oil, your industrial age is born from volcanic fire and geothermal steam, creating a unique steampunk world. Heavy iron machines now trek across the deep permafrost, expanding the borders of your empire through the blinding snow. Your species has not merely survived the ultimate climate apocalypse, you have broken its icy grip and mastered its rules. You look back at the long, grueling path of your ancestors, realizing that the eternal winter was your greatest architect. If a warm, fertile paradise had saved us from this struggle, would humanity have ever discovered its true, infinite strength? The crow flies into the dawn. Write your theory below. How would humanity build a space program in a world of ice?